This is Polly. Polly is a bit of a demand barker, but in this video we're going to go over how to teach a dog to focus or look at the human in the face on command. Now she's a little bit standoffish. She worked with another trainer that used some force and punishment methods, and I think that's a little bit, and I'll think probably a little bit under-socialized. So we want to try to socialize as much as possible, and we can help her get out of that. It'll just take a little bit of practice. Okay, so when I do the focus exercise, I have a handful of treats in this hand, and I use really high-value training treats. I use chicken liver. I've got one in this hand. I'm holding it between my thumb and forefinger so it looks like the OK sign. What I do is I want my knees shoulder-width apart, and I want the dog sitting between them. Now, if the dog goes low, I put my legs out to the side. Focus. I want the dog's nose to be about level. Now, I want to make my hands look uniform. So I'm holding it here, and I'm trying to make two fists. Focus. What I'm doing is I'm waiting for the dog to look up at my face. Now, she's a little standoffish for me, but for other people, I'm guessing she's going to slobber and lick on your hands. Don't move your hands away. Don't tell her no. Just wait. And immediately reload. You see, I didn't reload, and she got up and started resetting. Focus. I want you to imagine there's a tunnel of vision right here. So when I raise it to my nose to enter that tunnel, and I should see the treat and the dog's eyes focus the whole time. So you see, now she started to come towards me. So I can move my feet to the side and not get sprained hips. Focus. Now, as soon as she looks up at me, I want to immediately go, and it can be an eye dart, and it'll happen really quick. So a lot of people, they don't do it too quickly, and the dog figures that's not what they wanted. Focus. I say the word focus. Always when you're using a treat, say the word after the treat goes in the dog's mouth. And then immediately reload and let the dog know we're still playing the game. I do this with about 12 treats, and you see she's breathing a little heavy. Focus. This is hard for dogs to do at first. And after a while, she'll be really good at it. But you see now she's looking at me faster and faster. Focus. So I raise to my nose, and then I go here. And I'll count out how it should be second-wise. 1 second, 1 second. Focus. Eventually, you're going to do it like this. When she looks at me. 1 second. 20 seconds for this other movement. Focus. Ideally, she's not coming towards you. She can, it's not a big deal. But to get to the 20 seconds, if I go too quickly, she's going to start looking around. The idea for this is so progressive that the dog doesn't realize we're elongating it. So at first, all 12 treats, 1 second, 1 second for all 12 treats. The next time we do it, or maybe the second, when she starts giving us good eye contact, then we go 1 second, 2 seconds for the second movement only. First move is always 1 second. Always go to your nose so the dog's looking here. The dog looks up at me and I go like this, it's going to look down. And the whole point of this exercise is to get the dog to look up at you on command. All right, now once I get to the point, you want to get to the point where you want to practice this probably 2 to 4 times a day, and you want to get to the point where, it shouldn't take longer, about a minute each time you're practicing, but you want to get to the point where you can get that 15 seconds for that second movement within about a week. And you want to do this inside. Right now we have some sounds outside. That's what she was barking at. You don't want to practice this initially when there are sounds, but eventually we want the sounds. We want the dog to practice filtering them out, and which is what she's doing, because I can still hear the sounds out there. So when we're practicing, not just in this place, I talked about this earlier, dogs don't generalize well, so practice all over the house, upstairs, downstairs, bedroom, kitchens, all over the place. And then once you get to the point where the dog, you say focus, the dog just snaps up and looks at you, the next step, focus, is to do it outside, but when no other distractions are outside. Because outside there's a lot of distractions built in. There's squirrels, there's smells, there's sounds, all this fun stuff. So we want to do it when there's nobody on the trail and it's easy. Maybe just right on your deck. And when we do this, I go back to 1 second, 1 second. But now I can move a little faster. Maybe do 1 second, 1 second for 5 treats, and then maybe she's looking at me, then I go 1 second, 2 seconds for the next 5 treats, then 1 second, 3 seconds for the last 5 treats. Get yourself back up to the point where you can be on the deck, and again, you can move faster, where you can say focus and hold the dog treat for 15 seconds while the dog's looking at you, your face, and the treat at the same time. Then we repeat the whole process in the backyard. Now we're doing the backyard, now there's grass and we're closer to the fence, so it's harder. So again, back up to 1 second, 1 second, and eventually it gets back up to 15 seconds. Now the first one should be within a week. The second stuff you could probably accomplish within another week, if not sooner, depending on how often you practice this. Now eventually, when you're walking with a dog, we'll see if I can actually get her to do it. Come here. I know that threw you off a little bit. I'm going to start moving around, so we'll see if we can do it. So which side do you walk around? Your right side or your left side?
Left side.
Left side, okay. So I'm walking her. Let's get you on this side so we can actually see it. Focus. as we're walking. So I stopped here, I've got stuff in front of me, but what we want to do is we want to practice now to walk when there's nothing around. We're on a walk, there's no other dogs, there's no squirrels, no chipmunks. And then as we're walking, this is the first time now we're going to do it, we go, when she looks up at us, we say focus at this point. At this point, she should look up for the command. So we're walking, and every once in a while, you just say focus, she looks up at you, go like this. As you're walking, let's try that. Let's see if we can do it while we're walking. You're a smart dog. Let's see if we can get this going. Focus, focus. So you're going to say it twice. As you're walking, so maybe in between every house, you do it once or one or two treats. Just around the block. And again, with no other distractions. Then eventually you want to do it when there are people walking on that, but so far away that your dog hears them, is aware of it, but is not trying to get into them. Let me sit down and we'll kind of wrap this one up. So the idea for this is to teach the dog, anytime that you're doing it, you've built up by practicing in the easiest situations. Now we get to a more difficult situation. We say focus, the dog just stops what they're doing. Dogs should meet by scent, not by sight. And if your dog's walking down the street and sees another dog and you say focus and it looks up, if you say it early enough, if the dog gets too close, I'm not going to turn away because that's a threat. So the idea is to practice when you see another, or if you have a regular walk and you get to a certain house, there's always a dog in the backyard. So when you get getting close to that house, start doing the focus, and you can eventually do past the house doing the focus exercise, and the dog is practicing now, not reacting to the dog that it normally reacts and lunges and barks at. So eventually you get closer and closer. Now, this is a great way to redirect the dog's attention. I talked to the guardians off camera. My preferred way to deal with dogs that are reactive or aggressive now is what we call behavior adjustment training. But this is something we usually do in a follow-up session. This is the initial session. I want to give the guardians some things that they can do in the short term to redirect. And for some dogs, the rules that we're going over inside and all the structural changes will help the dog adapt more of a follower's mindset. I think she thinks she's in charge, and she's trying to protect her humans. And I think it's been a progressive sort of thing. So hopefully all the other things that we went over will help you with that. If not, then let me know. We can set up a session to do some bat training. But for now, this is the instructions on how you can teach your dog to focus on you on command.